Hey everybody, USPTA Elite Professional Nick Bennett here. Match Point Tennis is the business I'm in, and today it's Motivational Monday number 2. Last week we talked about a John Wooden quote, and I'm going to talk again about John Wooden. I've read a couple books by him recently, and I've just really fell in love with his attitude and his way of life and his just reflections on his past success. And we're going to talk about success today. And the quote that I'm going to use, I'm going to read to you here is, "Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming." So let me repeat that. Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. Okay, and that's the name of the game. We talk in society uh, we talk in society about grades and UTRs and rankings, and we're a society that is so obsessed with rankings and numbers that it really gets in the way, I think, of what success really means. And I think what happens is kids start to associate with success and a number, success and a grade. I'm only successful if my UTR is better than everybody else's. But your UTR or your grade point average or your grades are only going to be as good as you're capable of becoming. You can't, like we said last week, you can't worry about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is capable of. There are people that are just fundamentally better tennis players than I am and that I won't ever beat. But that shouldn't stop me from becoming the best that I can be and competing, because I don't care if there's someone better than me. In my mind, I'm always going to try to give my best to beat them, my best effort as much as I can every time that I can. And that's what they're talking about here with Wooden. And his quote here is, success, comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best you are capable of being. And you got to ask yourself that, am I the best right now? Am I capable of being? Right now, no, I'm not. I need to be a better husband, a better father, a better person. Okay, and that's what I work on. I try to work on every day. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to fail, because I am. But I am working on that to become the best that I can be. And I want to know that I gave everything to be the best husband, the dad, a coach, a teacher. Because at the end of the day, when I retire and I'm done and I move on from this life, I want to look back and be like, you know what? I did everything I could. I did the best that I could. And that's what we need to define as success. I go to these tournaments and or the club I teach at, people ask me, hey, what's your UTR rating? What's your NTRP rating? And you tell them, I'm a 4.0. Oh my gosh, you're a teaching pro and you're a 4.0. You're not a 5.0? No, I'm not. I started late. I paid for a lot of my own lessons and my equipment. But people make assumptions about that. People may, oh, you're only a 4.0. I'm better than you, so I know more about tennis than you do. And that's maybe the perspective. Oh, I'm a UTR 7, or I can't beat a UTR 9. There's no way I can do that. Why? Or my GPA is only 3. I didn't get class valedictorian. Why not? We see kids constantly worried about their UTR numbers at tournaments, or talking to each other. What's your UTR? What's your UTR? Or your grade point averages. Who's higher? I was at a school in DC, and kids were really getting affected by that when we were deciding whether or not we were going to keep GPAs on the report card, because we were really upset of what it was doing to our kids, and meaning that they had to have this really high GPA to be successful. But we're not all going to win the championship. We're not all going to be number one in the world like Roger Federer, and you have to accept that. Like my dad always used to tell me, there's always someone bigger, stronger, and faster than you. That will always be the case. And how do you define your success? We have to redefine what success is, and it's about becoming the very best that you can become. That's how you know you're successful. If you don't put any effort and you fail a class, well, then don't be surprised if you fail. Or if you go out in the tennis court and you're playing someone who's ranked, and maybe you get beat 2-1, and you threw everything you had at them and you did the best you can in the match. Why is that not successful? Why do we look at them and be like, well, you failed? Sure, you lost, but did you do the very best you can? Yes. And that's what we need to start teaching our kids, because that's what matters in the real world. That's what matters in your job. Nobody cares about your SAT score. Nobody's going to care about your UTR rating. You need to focus on your job and your future as a parent, if you become a parent, as a spouse, or maybe in your career. Are you doing everything you can to be the best that you can become? And that's how we need to tell them. That's how you define success, not a number. A number shouldn't define who you are because it doesn't. We need to reteach our kids what we value. And we value that hard work. We value that effort. We value that time putting in on court, those tutors that we get, that extra help that we need. Are we doing what we need to become the very best that we can become? And if you can answer that question, yes, then you're a success.